she promised, and hung up.
"You're a sweet girl, Sookie,"
Andy volunteered unexpectedly. He'd finished the drink I'd poured for him. I swept the glass out of sight and hoped he wouldn't ask for more. "Thanks, Andy," I said. "You're okay yourself."
"Where's boyfriend?"
"Right here," said a cool voice, and Bill Compton appeared just behind Andy. I smiled at him over Andy's drooping head. Bill was about 5'10", with dark brown hair and eyes. He had the broad shoulders and hard, muscular arms of a man who's done manual labor for years. Bill had worked a farm with his father and then for himself before he'd gone to be a soldier in the war. That would be the Civil War.
"Hey, VB!"
called Charles E. Tootin's husband, Micah. Bill raised a casual hand to return the greeting, and my brother Jason said, "Evening, Vampire Bill," in a perfectly polite way. Jason, who had not exactly welcomed Bill into our little family circle, had turned over a whole new leaf. I was sort of mentally holding my breath, waiting to see if his improved attitude was permanent.
"Bill, you're okay for a bloodsucker,"
Andy said judiciously, rotating on his bar stool so he could face Bill. I upgraded my opinion of Andy's drunkenness, since he had never otherwise been enthusiastic about the acceptance of vampires into America's mainstream society.
"Thanks,"
Bill said dryly.
"You're not too bad for a Belle Fleur."
He leaned across the bar to give me a kiss. His lips were as cool as his voice. You had to get used to it, like when you laid your head on his chest and you didn't hear a heartbeat inside.
"Evening, sweetheart,"
he said in his low voice. I slid a glass of the Japanese-developed synthetic B negative across the bar, and he knocked it back and licked his lips. He looked pinker almost immediately. "How'd your meeting go, honey?" I asked. Bill had been in Shreveport the better part of the night.
"I'll tell you later."
I hoped his work-related story was less distressing than Andy's. "Okay. I'd appreciate it if you'd help Portia get Andy to her car. Here she comes now," I said, nodding toward the door. For once, Portia was not wearing the skirt, blouse, jacket, hose, and low-heeled pumps that constituted her professional uniform. She changed to blue jeans and a ragged Sophie Newcomb sweatshirt. Portia was built as squarely as her brother, but she had long, thick chestnut hair. Keeping it beautifully tended was Portia's one signal that she hadn't given up yet. She plowed single-mindedly through the rowdy crowd.
"Well, he's soused all right,"
she said, evaluating her brother. Portia was trying to ignore Bill, who made her very uneasy.
"It doesn't happen often, but if he decides to tie one on, he does a good job."
"Portia, Bill can carry him to your car," I said. Andy was taller than Portia and thick in body, clearly too much of a burden for his sister.
"I think I can handle him,"
she told me firmly, still not looking toward Bill, who raised his eyebrows at me. So I let her get one arm around him and try to hoist him off the stool. Andy stayed perched. Portia glanced around for Sam Merlot, the bar owner, who was small and wiry in appearance but very strong. "Sam's bartending at an anniversary party at the country club," I said. "Better let Bill help."
"All right,"
the lawyer said stiffly, her eyes on the polished wood of the bar.
"Thanks very much."
Bill had Andy up and moving toward the door in seconds, in spite of Andy's legs tending to turn to jelly. Micah Tootin jumped up to open the door, so Bill was able to sweep Andy right out into the parking lot.
"Thanks, Sookie,"
Portia said.
"Is his bar tab settled up?"
I nodded.
"Okay,"
she said, slapping her hand on the bar to signal she was out of there. She had to listen to a chorus of well-meant advice as she followed Bill out the front door of Merlot's. That was how Detective Andy Belfleur's old Buick came to sit in the parking lot at Merlot's all night and into the next day. The Buick had certainly been empty when Andy had gotten out to enter the bar, he would later swear. He'd also testified